Graphics are important, and I find that when playing games, whether that be Borderlands with its cel-shaded art style, Minecraft with its more blocky and retro aesthetic, or even something like Flight Simulator which renders hyper-realistic graphics, I know what you're thinking. Graphics are subjective, and yes, that is true, but only partly. A game can have overtly unreal graphics, but good graphics does not mean a good game, even though the game does have great visual appeal. Graphics are very important to your personal experience with games, and I find that that's the same with me. It's amazing how games like Hollow Knight or Journey that have more stylistic approaches to their graphical style often leave a greater impression on me than games with more generally real graphics. And I think that that's just so amazing that you can tell more of a story through a game's art style and approach to aesthetic than any in-game reason. If you're liking this video so far and you want to see more videos like this, then feel free to stick around. I create content based on gaming discussions throughout the week, so don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss another upload from me, and so let's just continue on with the video. Do you ever just sit there and think about a graphical style for a specific game that you perhaps really enjoy playing? Because I do. Recently I played Monster Hunter Rise on my Switch and I fell in love with the art style as well as the game. The fresh and bright colours, the luscious grass and the babbling brooks are a massive change from the dirty and broken aesthetic of most modern FPS games. And so I think it's really nice to have that visual variety with the type of games that you play. And I think that that's why I made this video, as I think that graphics are a fundamental core component of any game. They are the basis for your entire time with the game. And so it's very important that you either respect or just enjoy the art style, as that's what you'll be looking at for the entire time that you are playing that specific game. Artistic expression in games is like the artistic expression for films or music. If it's not there, then we are just left with the same boring and uninspired projects, and that's the same for video games. Imagine a world without Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Little Nightmares, Journey. These are all games with unique art styles that make them identifiable to people who don't even perhaps play video games. To go deeper down the rabbit hole, doesn't Minecraft just relax you? Just imagine the sun going down and you're putting all your diamonds back in your chest. Now that's what I call the life. And no one is wondering how the physics work in Minecraft, or ooh, that's not realistic because Minecraft is a block, just a big block, the world is a big block. Instead, Minecraft's aesthetic actually complements the themes of exploration present in Minecraft. And you could be thinking, ooh, a blocky mountain, let's go there. And it's all in honesty due to the timeless graphics, which we will get onto later. The visual remaster of Link's Awakening took our childhood interpretation of the original game and brought our imaginations to life. As this is how we all remember the game looking like when we were children, right? Right? Yeah, right. Link's Awakening does look visually stunning on Switch hardware. Grizo, the development team, did a great job of bringing back a classic and giving it a new coat of paint. I'd even argue that the animations play a role in art styles, and Link's Awakening's animations look smooth and fluent and is a great step up from the original game. And I know what I'm about to say is highly subjective, but I think that Grizo did a great choice of saturation in comparison to the original's washed out look in comparison to today. Grizo and Nintendo clearly made it an important factor in the development of Link's Awakening, as the graphical style really does look phenomenal. It Takes Two is another choice, a two-player local co-op only game. The combination of different household items being twisted and contorted to fit the world, as well as some crazier looking sections, makes for a thrilling experience. As you can be riding bugs up a tree or fighting off a horde of wasps, the game never ceases to entertain. And the art style is actually a merge of the toy aesthetic with real-life objects being utilised in creative ways. And so I've sort of come to the conclusion that the way you play a game might also be influenced by the graphics, as you certainly know that you can't bounce off a paint can in Call of Duty Cold War. However, the graphics can be a timeless factor for a game, as I would be wrong if I did not mention games like Team Fortress 2 and Fortnite. Games that have beat the market by looking distinct and different to everything else at the time. Many gamers were bored of the realistic graphic style of PUBG and so moved to Fortnite, and I think that the graphical appeal did have a hand in this, as well as obviously the gameplay features. And many FPS games back when Team Fortress 2 released were most certainly being shoved aside by Team Fortress 2 and its graphical style, which even looks phenomenal today. And so for those lucky development studios that chose to go bold and brave with their art style, I'm sure they're still reaping the rewards to this day. Games with timeless graphics will live on for generations. These will be the games that we will show our kids when we were younger. Video games can truly be a wonderful thing and can really teleport you and your friends into a new and expansive world. Whether that be hyper-realistic, hyper-futuristic, post-apocalyptic futurism, or even something simple like Terraria, with a more pixelated art style. And I think the majority of the reason why I'm making such an emphasis on these graphical styles is because these games will be the forefront for games in the future. What we think of as retro games like Super Mario 64 will soon become Journey, the Shadow of the Colossus remaster, Minecraft, and Fortnite, just to name a few off the cuff. And so hopefully these graphical styles will keep living on for as long as they can. And I'd really appreciate to see other games take on these styles, because graphical styles are not just limited to games, as even games like Borderlands, which initially did not have a cel-shaded art style but later adopted it, became far more successful for being different and new in the FPS space. And so I'm telling all developers of games big and small that graphics are important, especially to the player, but most importantly, to the gaming experience. And so in conclusion, it doesn't really matter about your brand new graphics card that can run 8K resolutions. It's about tonality, artistic expression, player clarity, functionality within the game world. And it's also about telling a story without any words being spoken. As every crack on the wall, vine covering a pathway, or humongous statue towering over a city all tells us a story. Now that's what I call immersion. It's very important that video game graphics make a difference, as not only is it visual variety, but also you can appreciate the game a lot more if it has a distinct art style. And the next time that you play a game, just only think for a moment about the graphical style. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Or do you think it adds nothing? If so, then feel free to write in the comments so I can talk with you all about it. I am waiting to hear. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, then subscribe and turn on that notification button so you don't miss another upload from me. So thank you and goodbye.